back to a very well-known video from when I was 6 years old.
Oh my. Welcome everybody to episode 3 of the Voice of Generation Now podcast. My name is Owen Smith and I'm so glad you could join me today. We are here with our third guest of the podcast, Laynie Rienow, which I've learned that's how her last name is pronounced. Let's just start off by saying, how many times have you gotten Rienow as your last name instead of Rienow?
Plenty of times. Basically every time people try to pronounce my name, it will be Rienow. But that's okay.
So I'm not crazy.
Okay. You're not crazy.
After saying Rienow for the first time.
No.
So we're going to start off by talking about, so you're an Orpheus.
I am. Yes.
Do you want to talk about what that is for the people that do not know?
Absolutely. So Orpheus, it's a choir on campus led by Dr. Bell, who is just absolutely fabulous. There's about 64 in the choir. So a decent sized group. Dr. Bell, I just appreciate so much because right off the bat, he talks about how this is a ministry in music, and that's what Orpheus Choir is all about. Basically, every song that we have is straight from scripture. He really cultivates an awesome community. I mean, rehearsals are like, we sit down, he does this thing where we all share good things if we want to, if something good happened the day or something random or something funny, and we all share that, but then it's also a time to share prayer requests if we want. And then when it's time to rehearse and focus on a song, it's like, okay, lock in, focus, it's time to do this. And we work on it for, 5 to 10 minutes, and the whole rehearsal just kind of goes like that. And I love it so much.
It sounds like a great environment.
It is. It is such a good group, and it's so much fun.
It's awesome. Mm-hmm. So you guys just did a variety show, and it was a big hit. I was not able to go, but
geez.
Elliot went. My buddy Elliot. Shout out Elliot.
Shout out Elliot.
Come on.
I know Elliot.
We love Elliot.
Yes.
He went. He told me it was great. Do you want to talk about that and everything that you did?
Oh, of course. So a variety show is a chaotic production. It is not what you would expect a classical choir to put on. It is called variety show because it is a variety of things. So basically, about 2 weeks before the show weekend, people from the choir will basically pitch their ideas of, I think it would be really funny to, for example, do a jump rope dance, which is something that I decided to do this year for no reason. Or I think it's a great idea. One of the most common acts is the fancy chair dance, which Cole Morris will organize. And there's just all these random acts. Some people sing amazing, beautiful songs like duets or solos. And so it's a really nice mix of like serious acts mixed with funny things. But I mean, this year it was the Wednesday before the show. Like our first show was on Friday, and it was the Wednesday before that Friday that we started rehearsing opening number, closing number, girls number, guys number. So it is thrown together last minute. We are in Larson Fine Arts Center from 6 p.m. to like 11 p.m. Thursday through Saturday. It's a lot, but it's a good time, and it's so much fun. Everyone loves it.
I heard it was a big hit on campus. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Love to hear it.
So one last thing about Orpheus, you're also the chaplain.
Yes.
So what do you do as the Orpheus chaplain?
Chaplain is a role that kind of looks different from year to year. Basically, one of the responsibilities is every Wednesday you'll give a devotional to the choir, and that can look like anything. I mean, it can look like, this is a devotional book I've been reading, and I'm going to read a chapter from it. Or it can be, we're going to choose this passage of scripture and kind of go through it for the next couple of weeks. And that's kind of the route that I've been taking so far. It definitely feels like a big responsibility to me because it's something that I really do care about. And I think that the spiritual life of the choir is something that really impacts the ministry of the choir, because if we are to reach other people, right, beyond the rehearsal room and through our performances, then that ministry is going to have to start together in the choir, right? And it's going to have to start experiencing community and growing in our faith and getting into the Word together so that we can be filled in that way and that we can show that to other people when it comes down to tours and actually performing for audiences. So it's something that I take seriously and that I care a lot about, but it's been honestly such a blessing to be able to do it, and I feel like I've already learned so much, and it just pushes me to grow in my faith too. And so it's been an awesome new thing this year.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's cool. So now we're going to shift to the music side of things.
Yes.
First of all, you sing in chapel.
Yes.
You're pretty recognizable around campus as someone who sings on stage. How often do you sing?
So
and chapel?
It's kind of confusing. Chapel band is the band that I'm a part of. So every time chapel band is in charge of that week, then I will be worshiping with that band. And then the other two bands would be ministry team bands. So like the Narrow, or I forget what the other one's called.
City on a Hill.
Yes, thank you, City on a Hill. By the end of the semester, we will have had a total of 9 chapels as chapel band. So yeah, basically 9 chapels is what I'll be a part of this semester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what does your morning look like when you're singing? What's your routine when you go to chapel, and like when do you have to be there? When is call time? Stuff like that.
Good question. So on Wednesdays, because chapel starts at 10, we will get started on rehearsing our Wednesday set at 8:30 a.m. So we get there at 8:15. Both Tim and I always say get there at 8:15 because you'll always have your latecomers, and I'm guilty of that sometimes too. So we start at 8:30, and basically on Wednesday we have Tuesday night rehearsals where we'll run all songs for Wednesday and Thursday. But then once it gets to Wednesday morning, we'll only focus on whatever songs we have for that day. So it's just spent usually running the first song a couple times, second song a couple times, and then running them straight through, practicing transition, whether there's going to be someone talking, whether there's going to be a prayer, talk through that. And then about 15 minutes before chapel actually starts, there's actually a team who comes in to pray over the seats in chapel before the service. And so we often get to be a part of that. So we'll go and join them, about 5 minutes of prayer before the service, and then we'll go back to the green room, which, let me tell you, love that place. There's snacks, there's an espresso machine, there's Izzy's, like it's the place to be. So then we'll hang out in there. We get to talk to the speaker a little bit. Tone is typically in there. He's a jokester, and we all love him. So yeah, then we'll just hang out in the green room. We'll go through the order of service, and then we'll pray for the service one last time as a group, and then we'll head out.
Oh wow, that is a lot of things.
It is. It's a packed morning. It is.
That is a lot of things.
We get a lot done.
Do you have a favorite song that you like to sing?
Oh my goodness.
Or 2 or 3?
Oh my goodness. I am notorious for not being able to pick favorites of anything because there are so many that I like.
That's valid.
Awake My Soul is one, actually, that I really do like to sing. My friend Shayna and my friend Maggie also both love that song. And so that is a song that I have always loved. It's actually one that I led a few times at a summer camp 2 summers ago now, and it just has stuck with me ever since then, and it's been one of my favorites.
It is a good song.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
It's beautiful.
Do you have any favorite songs you like to listen to, or any genre of music that you're into?
Honestly, I feel like I'm a very seasonal song person. So depending on the season that I'm in, it's going to change the music that I like to listen to.
That totally makes sense.
So when I get to fall, like I'm into the alternative folk, like, Bon Iver, or I don't know, really any just like acoustic type music, very chill. In the summer, I can get behind some country music. I definitely like, especially old country, like Chris Stapleton, those artists, definitely like that. And then, Need to Breathe, though. If I had to choose a favorite group, I think it would be Need to Breathe.
Interesting.
I love their lyrics. I love their musicality. I just love them as a group. I love the lead vocalist. They're someone that I feel like each season I'll be like, okay, I could listen to a Need to Breathe song right now.
When you mention seasonal music, I think of Christmas music.
Okay, that makes sense.
So are you like into Christmas music?
I'm absolutely into Christmas music, but I am that person who's like, I'm gonna wait till after Thanksgiving. It's a debate. It's always a debate.
Yep.
But it's the family I grew up in. Gotta stick to it. After Thanksgiving, I will embrace the Christmas spirit wholeheartedly.
My family, well, mainly my mom, is like the crazy Christmas person. She'll listen to Christmas music in October. It's October 10th. We're recording this October 10th, and I can imagine her listening to Christmas music. She always posts stuff about, like, it's almost Christmas. I'm like, Mom, it's October 10th.
it's not almost Christmas yet. That's so funny.
I heard you came into Olivet as an interior design major.
Oh.
And now you're in worship arts.
So it's close. Okay. I came in as a graphic design major.
Design major.
Yes, I mean, very similar. Okay. So, yes, I came in with, I always had a major in music. That was always a plan. A major in music with a major in graphic design. And then I started my graphic design classes, and they really they were not clicking with me. I also had this plan to graduate in 3 years. So I started out kind of in my major specific classes pretty early on, which was really nice because I got to figure out like, okay, do I like this, do I not?
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty quickly I just kind of felt like I don't know if graphic design's really going to be for me. I don't know if it's necessarily something that I want to pursue at my time here. So, and music is actually a very full major, which I actually wasn't expecting. I'll be honest. Coming in, I was like, oh yeah, music major. Like I'll be singing some songs. But oh my goodness, it is a packed major. There's just a lot to it. And so I think having that with graphic design specifically just seemed a little bit much to do in 3 years. And so I ended up switching to a minor in theology along with my major in music because I just got more serious about the ministry side of things. I've always loved having deeper conversations about people's faith and just their stories, what they believe, why they believe it. And I was like, this is something that I want to take with me and that I want to be more, I just felt like educated on in a lot of ways. And so I switched to having a minor in theology with a major in music in hopes to, hopefully do some ministry work post-college for sure.
That is an interesting story.
Yeah.
We are going to turn it to the audience. If any audience members have any questions, there is a microphone right here that you can
Get up.
ask questions. We have
Someone's got to have
people are fighting for the
something.
microphone.
They
right
are,
now.
yeah. There's like actually a full-on riot happening out there right now.
There we go.
Shayna Caddy, everybody. One of my very best friends in the world. Go, girl.
Go for it.
How long have you been singing for, Laynie?
Oh, that is a really good question. So, man, well, I could take you back to a very well-known video from when I was 6 years old.
Oh, my.
Filming a selfie video of me singing I Love the Way You Hold Me by Jamie Grace. And so basically since I was 6 years old, since I was a little girl, I was singing around the house all the time. I would say actually being really serious about singing was end of middle school because I started getting into the musical theater world a lot. I did community theater in my area. I loved auditioning for everything. I loved singing everything. And then my mom is a worship leader at our church. And so I've grown up seeing her do that. And she, basically when I was in middle school, I got to join her in a lot of worship things at our church because we're a very all ages included church, and so a lot of kids are involved in the service, and so I got to do that at a young age. And then in high school is when I got into my first voice lessons from a family friend of ours. Basically high school on, I was like, okay, singing is definitely something that I want to do for the rest of my life. And here I am in college singing all the time.
Here you are.
Here I am.
Singing in front of the entire school. Does anyone else in the audience have any questions? There we go.
Woo-hoo!
Come on.
Is it Ruben? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Go for it.
If you could pick one city in the United States, where would you live?
That's a great question.
Oh, I hate questions
The
like
broad,
this.
like the random
You
questions,
would
these are
ask
great.
that.
These are
Okay.
fun.
One city in the United States. Like one state? Can I say state? Can I do a state or like a specific city?
You can do both if you want.
Like if you're not a city
State.
person,
I'm
then-
not a city person.
Okay, then yeah, go
I
state.
am not a city
Go
person.
state.
I honestly would go with Tennessee.
Okay.
I would. My oldest brother and my sister-in-law live in Tennessee. My sister went to college in Tennessee. I've been there many, many times, and I really do love it there. I think it's just a good mix of, especially close to Nashville, you can get some like city culture, but there's also just beautiful suburbs in that area. So yeah, I think that's what I would choose. I'm from Wheaton, and I love Wheaton. Like, that's where my family is. I have grown up there my whole life. So if I stay in Wheaton, probably wouldn't be mad about it. But if I were to move, I think Tennessee.
Tennessee's a great choice,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
I went there for a summer, like a weekend or whatever. And my family and I, we rented like one of the cabins. We went to Gatlinburg.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun experience. And we went to a
bet.
Cubs minor league game. It was
Oh, a blast.
Yeah, I love
a blast.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I think we have time for one more. If anyone in the audience,
Maddie.
Here we go.
Yes.
Last question.
They just had to think about it for a bit.
That's okay.
Hi, Laynie.
Hi, Maddie.
So my question would be, so you talked a little bit about Orpheus Choir and
Yes.
just what it means to be chaplain. What led you to want to be chaplain this year for Orpheus?
Oh, great question. So, the way that chaplain is actually decided is that the seniors of the choir, so the seniors of last year's choir, they got together and they basically give Dr. Bell some names of, there's like 5 different leadership positions in the choir. So there's president, there's chaplain, there's, oh goodness, like events coordinator, social media coordinator, things like that. And so the seniors of last year's choir get together and they give names basically for each position. And so Dr. Bell chooses 2 of those names and he'll send an email to those 2 people and they'll say, hey, you're in the running to be whatever for next year's choir. Are you okay if your name is on the ballot? So I received that email at the end of choir last year. And I honestly thought about it a bit because I was like that. Again, it felt like a very big responsibility to me. And I was like, okay, like this is something that is going to take a decent amount of time and thought, and it will add to my busy schedule. But I also was like, if this is something that the Lord is putting in front of me, then like I want to pursue that and I want to follow that. So I was like, yep, put my name on the ballot. Sounds great. And so then the ballots are passed out and then the choir votes just based on the names that are there. And then at our banquet, at the end of the year banquet, they announce who the new, they call them officers, who the new officers are. And so I was announced as chaplain for this year, and so here I am. And that's how I came to be in this position that I'm in now. And it's been wonderful.
That's
I really,
awesome.
really love it.
That's awesome. All right. I think that's all we got for you today. Thank you for joining me, Laynie.
Absolutely.
This was a lot of fun.
It was.
And we will see you next time.